lot of us saw a decent amount of rain over this past week, especially as we got in Douglas County and the Bayfield County, thanks to that gravity wave you saw, as well as into the UP. They saw actually close to not over 2 inches of rain spots, but it's not just rain, a little bit of snow as well. We weren't expecting much of a dusting, too much, where it looked like most of it wasn't going to accumulate because the temperature was just a little bit too warm, but it looks like some here. This is in Irwin Township, just to the south of Ironwood. Saw a little bit of snow was able to accumulate as we got over the past few days. So you actually saw a little bit of dusting of snow. And look at here as we're into the Iron Range. This is from Katy. You can see here some of those snowflakes falling on through. So saw a bit of rain over, or not just rain, but a little bit of snow as well as we gone through this system making its way through. But the system has moved on out. What hasn't moved out is those cooler temperatures. In fact, it dropped down pretty chilly to overnight. And if you look at those temperatures right now, we're still seeing some upper teens. Hayward as well as International Falls still at 19 degrees. The rest of us now getting into the mid-20s. So we're starting to see some spots get a little bit warmer, but still quite chilly as you step outside. And as we continue through the day, thanks to that sun, we're going to be seeing highs are going to be getting into the 40s for many of us, a little bit warmer than it was over the past few days, especially the further southwest you are, because as you go south along the I-35 corridor, we're probably going to be seeing some low 50s try to squeeze their way on in, though into the Arrowhead, probably going to be staying a little bit cooler. We're probably expecting some places to stay in the lower 40s, maybe even the upper 30s here and there. Now, once we start to head into Saturday, though, we're starting to see the warmer temperatures make their way back in, looking at highs mainly into the mid to lower 50s, some spots a little bit warmer. Looks like along the South Shore, we can see some spots pushing into the upper 50s. And by the time we start getting into Sunday, now we're just really starting to feel mild. As those highs would not only be in the 50s, but a lot of us getting into the mid to upper 50s. And you can see here at Ashland, Siren, there's a couple places showing signs we can see low 60s as we get into northwest Wisconsin and some spots along the South Shore as well. Now, when it comes to the rain, not going to be seeing too much over the coming days thanks to the high pressure system we had move in, but we can see a bit of rain. As you can see, as we get later into today, primarily the early afternoon, we're going to have sunshine for a lot of the Northland, but then we're going to have a small disturbance make its way through. That's going to bring some showers to the western counties as we start to head into the evening hours. These are going to move southeast as we go through the overnight hours, and so it's going to bring a little bit of rain here and there, but it's not going to bring a ton of rain. And by the time we start to head into the afternoon tomorrow, we're going to be seeing that sun make its way on back out. Now, when it comes to the rain, we definitely need it because here's look at our drought monitor. This is from Monday, so we probably see a little bit of improvement, but it's likely still under a drought for a lot of the areas because a lot of the areas under the drought right now, the moderate drought you can see here kind of in the tan color, really didn't see a ton of rain outside of some places closer to the Iron Range and into Douglas County. So we're probably still under that drought and we'll definitely need it. Now, when it comes to the next chance of rain, it is going to come as we get into next week. And it looks like there's a decent chance, but recently the trend have been drying out because even though in the Dakotas likely to see that rain try to make its way on in, as the system moves into the east, it's going to dissipate and actually start moving to the southeast and redeveloping down there. It'll leave us with just some cloud cover, some breeze, and maybe some showers here and there, though saying isolated to scattered. As of right now, though, there can be changes. The reason why is because of how the jet stream is going to be shaping up. So right now we're having this ridge is going to be setting up, and as we start to head into the weekend, that's what's going to start bringing in the more mild conditions we'll be seeing. But we have this trough out here to the west that's going to try to make its way on in. However, the issue is this cutoff flow down here, right? It's been cutoff flow. This is actually what's been amplifying this ridge that we're seeing in the jet stream. But notice here, this cutoff flow is going to start merging with the primary flow of the jet stream. And in fact, if we pull forward to by the time we get to early next week, this is now Monday, notice the primary flow of the jet stream is going to redevelop, including that cutoff flow swooping down through a good portion of the United States, while the jet stream we did see right here is going to actually become almost like a cutoff high pressure system. That's going to prevent that system from really bringing much rain. By the time we get into closer to the middle of next week, that system going to really be redeveloping further to the southeast where that cutoff flow was initially, and that's going to keep us possibly more mild in the Great Lakes region. But again, things can change, but it's been kind of the conflicting outputs from all of our models models, depending on how this jet stream is going to behave. But right now, it looks like we're going to be staying dry. And if we do stay mostly dry, despite the system really trying to push its way on in, only getting a few showers here and there, can still see more rain chances along the way because we're going to be more in an active pattern. So we can see some more rain later on as we get into the week. Now, when it comes to temperatures, thanks to that system not really making its way in, we're probably going to be staying mild into next week. We'll be dropping off a little bit into next week, but still be staying into the upper 40s, the lower half of the 50s, it looks like, for much of next week. And it looks like the more mild conditions are going to be sticking around, even if you look at our 6 to 10 day outlook, which brings us out into the start of November. So we're not going to really be seeing those really chilly temperatures anytime soon. And you can see that on our 7-day forecast outside of this morning because it's definitely chilly. But today, again, as mentioned, it's going to be a little cool, and then we're going to be seeing those mild temperatures this weekend. Hopefully, you do see rain as we start to head into next week because anything to help with those drought conditions, but we should start to see some systems try to make their way in.